Hey man, it's Kevin Smith.
Hey, this is Jay Music.
Hey, I'm Scott Snyder.
I'm Cena Grace.
And you're listening
to The Absolute Geek.
The Absolute Geek.
Absolute Geek.
Absolute Geek Podcast.
Check it out, Snoogans.
Oh yeah, this is kind of crazy. So Kyle caught a little glimpse of it. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to be here for the unveiling, but I'll go ahead and share my screen here in a second. Basically, for a lot of Absolute viewers, you've heard about the story about our buddy Chuck that came into that amazing collection. We sent the first 10 books out to be graded from that collection, and they came back. And basically what we did is we sent them out to be pressed before we sent them in. And we sent them to one of our buddies who's, in my opinion, one of the best pressers in the game. And it was funny because every time he presses your books, he'll send you a grade that he thinks it's going to be. And 99% of the times he's spot on. Like, he hits it perfectly. And he basically did that with all these books, except for a couple of them. He actually thought they were going to be lower than they were. So that made us even happier. But for some of these grades to get some of these grades that he got on most of these are Silver Age books, not only is amazing, but considering that most of these books weren't even bagged and boarded when he got the collection, it makes it even crazier. So, yeah, if you don't mind, I'll go ahead. You guys want to see them? I'll go ahead and start sharing the screen. I got cool pictures of them here. Let me go ahead and do this. All right. So here is one of the first ones. This is the first appearance of Deadman. Came back as 7.0, which is absolutely awesome. One of my favorite characters. Pretty cool to see a first appearance of Deadman come back in a pretty high grade. Now, you guys are wondering, some viewers might be wondering when I say high grades and you're seeing 7s. For Silver Age books, these are high grades because most of the books before the modern age were just trashed. I mean, either if they weren't thrown away, they were folded up and, creased and ripped. And one of the things that comic companies used to do back in the day is if the magazine stands ordered the comics and they didn't sell, the magazine stands could rip off half of the top cover and send it back. So, I mean, you'll even see Silver Age books with half cover rips. So this is pretty amazing to see a 7.0 in a Silver Age book that wasn't bagged or boarded. So that's the first one. This is a first appearance. Yeah. First appearance of Sabretooth, Iron Fist number 14. This, when Sean pressed it, he actually thought it was going to be an 8.5 and it came back a 9.6.
Wow. Are you serious?
I swear to God. Absolutely
Wow.
Unbelievable. This is a ridiculous book to have, yet alone in that high of a grade, a 9.6 on first appearance of Sabretooth. So absolutely gorgeous. First appearance of Darkseid here.
It's not a bad grade.
Oh, no. 8.0, super crazy book. This is one of those first appearances that make you just think, like, what the fuck are they saying? This is a first appearance, because not only does Darkseid they only show him once in this book, he's literally on a TV screen in the background of a panel. You know what I mean? So a lot of people don't like that this is considered his first appearance, but that's what the market has said. So it is what it is. But to come back in an 8.0 is pretty cool. Next book, there's the big dog.
Holy shit, 9.0. Damn.
Can you fucking believe that? That right there, my friends, is about as good as you're going to get on a Grail. I mean, this is a book right now that if he wanted to sell it, he could get anywhere from, he could get $7 to $10 grand for this book easy. Just this absolutely blew us away. It's kind of got to give a clap for this one. You don't see this book very often in that high of a grade, and to consider that this was sitting in a box, not even bagged and boarded, is even crazier.
Right.
Yeah. So, and this one, Sean had said he was spot on. He said he thought it was going to be 8.5 to 9.0. So pretty cool to see that. There you go, boys. 7.5, first appearance of the Punisher. Another one of those grails that it was pretty amazing watching him pull these books out of the box, because I didn't even know the grades. I had asked the the buddy who had sent these out to not send me the list of all the grades that they send in. So, to watch him pulling these books out one by one, we were just kind of like, it was almost like that first time when we were seeing them, Kyle, where we were just going crazy. And it was cool to see Chuck, because now Chuck knows how amazing these books are, and what, he knows when he's looking at these books, he knows what they are. Whereas before he had no clue. So me and Kyle were going crazy at these books, and Chuck was just like, I don't even know what these are. So now that he knows how hard it is to get these books in this grade, it was cool to see him, opening up his books.
Yeah, dude, what a lucky fucker.
Yeah. Here's the first cameo of Wolverine, Hulk 180. 6.5. This is another $1,000 book. $700 to $1,000 book, easy. Pretty amazing. This one blows me away still to this day. First Silver Age appearance of the Flash, in his own title. First appearance of Mirror Master. This book is just ridiculous. This is one of the books that brought in the Silver Age of comics, and pretty amazing to own one.
6.5.
Yet alone a 6.5 with off-white pages. So absolutely amazing. There you go. This is the first appearance of Supergirl. This was the only book in the whole set that we were kind of bummed out, but we knew this was coming. Sean, being the amazing presser that he is, he knows the grades of books. It's one of the things I still have yet to learn, how to properly grade a book. He had told us he thought this book was trimmed, and he had said, when he sent us what he thought it was, he said 4.0 trimmed, and that's what it came back as. And basically what that means, guys, is whoever owned this book before decided it was better to kind of trim a very small piece off the sides to make them look straight instead of, crinkled or ripped. And they did doing so, they ruined the book. Now, this is still such a hard book to come by, and it presents beautiful. So just to say you have the first appearance of Supergirl is pretty amazing.
Does it say trimmed on it, or does it say...
Yeah, it says restoration. That's what the purple is. And it says small amount of color touch on the cover and small amount of glue on the spine, top and bottom edge trimmed.
I almost wonder if it's
so they didn't do the side. They
just did the top and bottom. Yeah.
Well, I almost wonder if like my Demon in a Bottle, the print on it was like messed up. So like the top of the cover is like off, is slanted.
Yeah,
so I wonder if they like tried to trim it up because they had the same problem and they tried to make it look.
I think it's just the printing of the time.
Yeah,
like Demon in the Bottle. I think that's just the way.
Because I've seen a couple of them like that, Matt.
Yeah, I think that's just like a sign of the times of comics for that.
Yeah, but you're right. I mean, this is something that people need to be on the lookout for. You don't think about it a lot, but people are pretty nefarious, and they'll try to get one over on somebody. And back in the day, before there was grading, this is a lot of times that this would happen. It happens in the sport trading card world also. So you just got to be careful and know what you're buying. That's why these grading companies kind of became so big, is because your book hasn't been trimmed. There's a good chance if it gets graded by CGC or a reputable grader, they are going to find the restoration.
Except for a staple.
Yeah. There we go. First appearance of Black Panther.
Oh.
Yeah. 6.0, absolutely amazing. This book is beautiful.
The sound of comic nerds coming all at once.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Forever.
Yeah, and CGC knows that's going to happen, so they put a little protective piece of plastic over it, so when you do pull them out, you can.
You don't mess up the plastic.
Yeah,
it's easy cleanup.
Yeah, it's just it's a beautiful book, and to own it, any one of these books, I'll keep saying it, just to own one, yet alone in this high grade.
Right.
Fuck. That's unbelievable right there. If you guys would have seen this book
I just filled the cup.
Yeah. If you would have seen this book before, you would have never thought this would have been a 7.0. Find yourself a nice presser and, pay him good money, because
Sean's a man.
He is. to have a first appearance of Batgirl in 7.0 is, in my opinion, just almost as good as having a first appearance of Wolverine in 9.0. This is a beautiful
He's got
book.
both.
And he's got both. He's on top of everything else. So that is the end of the first 10. Pretty amazing. Well, actually, I don't think it is the end. Let me see here. Is there any more? There we go. That's
He skipped another one too. Oh man.
Yeah.
Would love to have that book.
Yeah. So these are all the grades that Sean originally sought. So you can see he said the Green Lantern he thought was a 7.0 to 8.0. Came back in 8.5.
What about First Silver Surfer?
First Silver Surfer. I did not show that. Here you go, boys. Look at that.
6.5. Damn.
He gets put at a 4.
Yeah,
4.5?
Sean. This is another one that's absolutely amazing. Sean thought this one was a 4.0. Where was it? A 4.5.
Yeah.
Because it has a little tear in it. So this blew us away. And, we were thinking a 4.5, and it came back a 6.5. And as you guys can see, here's
2 points.
Yeah, here's the little. Oh, let me see here. There's the tear that he was talking about. It's right here.
I see
and,
it. Yeah.
This kind of makes me think a little bit about how tears are perceived in some of these older books that are not modern books, because, like I said, people didn't really keep good care of them. So CGC maybe treats these type of tears on older books not as bad as we think they do. And as you guys can see, it also has one of the staples is kind of misstapled. It's kind of off the edge a little bit here, which is kind of interesting, but still pretty freaking cool. So first appearance of Silver Surfer and Galactus. So, first time you hear the name of Galactus. So it's pretty amazing. Yeah. So
I gotta
that
go
was
change my sweatpants. I'll be right back.
Yeah. The Hulk 180 he thought was a 5.5. That came back a
9.0.
6.5.
Oh, no, 6.5.
Yeah.
6.5.
Yeah, 6.5. Yeah. So that was kind of cool. See here. Here's the Supergirl 4.5 trimmed with a question mark, and he got that. This is pretty cool. He thought the first appearance of Batgirl was going to be a 5.0, and of course it came back a 7.0. He called it right on the money with the Hulk 181 9.0.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the Iron Fist 14, the first Sabretooth, where he thought it was an 8.5. It came back a 9.6, so that was a nice surprise. And he was right on the money with the Punisher, and the Flash 105 came back a full grade higher than what he thought it was. So pretty freaking cool to
Lucky fucker.
Yeah, to be able to say you own all these books, and these are just like 1/10 of the books that he's got going in. So we'll keep you guys updated with the next batch, and if it comes back as good as this, I don't see how anybody can not be excited about books like this.
Those are awesome. I'd like to have a few of them in my
Right.
Pretty much all of them.
Yeah.
just not next to the water heater, obviously. Job
Well,
Matt,
I mean-
making jokes you can't. No, I'm
Well, I think
So,
anyone would kill for one of those books in their collection, and he's got all of them.
Right? Yeah. It's crazy. And this is what makes it even better is that, he's at first, he wasn't a comic guy, and him seeing the excitement that we all kind of had at, this collection, it made him decide to keep all these books, what makes it even better. So these books are going to stay in his collection, and I'm pretty happy about that. So
Chad's asking,
Very cool.
What's it cost to press ballpark?
It's usually depending on the book and the year of the book. If you send them a modern book, it'll probably be most pressers charge about $10 to press a book. Bigger books, it could be a percentage, just because if you send them an Amazing Fantasy 15, there's a lot of risk that's involved in that. So he might charge you a little percentage of the average value depending on the presser. Or he could charge you double the price of a modern book. So it's different for everybody, but usually it's anywhere from $10 to $20 a book to get pressed. So, and as
if
you
it
can
has
see,
pressable features, it's worth it.
it's totally worth it.
But the only thing about pressing is don't rely too much into that.
Yes.
Because if you're relying on your book that you're looking at to come back a 9.8 just for the fact that it was pressed, then there's a chance you're going to be pretty fucking disappointed.
Yeah. One thing I did notice on a lot of these books is it has the whole Newton ring issue. Every book basically has a little bit of the Newton ring stuff, which isn't a really big deal in my opinion, because in order to see them, you kind of have to really look, so it doesn't take away from the eye appeal.
It's
and
just because there's two different plastics.
Yeah, it's two different types of plastics touching each other, not on the book side, on the outside of the inner well. So
That's
touching each other.
yeah.
That's the only reason you get them. I mean, it's going to be anything with it happening. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
That is pretty sick. That Black Panther, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
it's badass.
Forever.